Hi everyone, my name is Piglet. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm so excited to be doing this video as part of our life skills this year. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about goal setting and how you can create attainable, realistic goals. So I know that planning for our futures and thinking about the future can be kind of scary and intimidating, but we're going to go through it step by step and make it really easy for you to achieve all of those goals and dreams that you have for yourself. So I'm going to share my screen with a really helpful worksheet tool, and we're going to go through it and we're going to go step by step. So let's get into it. Okay. So this is called a SMART goal worksheet. So SMART actually stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So let's go through what each of those means before we practice with one of my goals. Okay, so specific just means that you want to get as clear and detailed as possible when it comes to your goal. This will help you stay accountable and help you reach your goal if you are as detailed as possible and not generalizing what you want to do. So for example, instead of saying, oh, I want to exercise more or I want to read more, can you get more specific than that? Can you say that I want to read a book twice a week, or I want to exercise 3 times a week, or I want to cook 3 times a week, whatever it may be. This can also be an academic goal, like I want to do my homework 2 days before it's due. So that's pretty specific, right? Instead of just saying, I want to stop procrastinating, you can get even more specific than that. What do you want to stop procrastinating? And what class do you want to stop procrastinating in? That sort of thing. Okay, so next up is measurable. So how are you going to measure at the end of your time whether you achieved your goal? So maybe you say that for the next month, I'm going to work out or exercise or run twice a week. Or say you're doing a sport and you want to get better at it, so you want to practice in your free time. So maybe your goal is, I'm going to practice my sport twice more per week than I'm doing right now. That's measurable because at the end of the time, you're going to be able to look back and see whether you did that or not. Like it's pretty clear, right, if you did that goal or not. Next is attainable. So let's take the reading goal, for example. Say right now you don't read any books, which is totally fine. You might not want to go right into having a goal of reading 10 times per week, right? You might want to stick to maybe reading twice per week. Or say you want to get into baking as your hobby. But you've never baked before. Maybe you want to start with trying to bake something once per week instead of every single day, right? You want these goals to be realistic and attainable. So definitely keep that in mind as well. Next, we have relevant. So what will this goal do for you? So these goals can help you academically, they can help you personally, or they can even help you professionally. So you want these goals to be relevant to your life and to your long-term vision for yourself and your life. So I know that can get a little intimidating to talk about, but just be a little bit introspective and think about maybe 1 year down the line or 2 years down the line, what type of things do you want to be doing? And you can kind of create your goals around that so that it's relevant to your life. And then our last thing is time bound. So you want to have a deadline per se for these goals. This doesn't have to be a strict deadline, but it can be like a check-in point. So maybe in a month, you're going to check in on this goal, or in 3 months, you're going to check in on this goal, or the end of the school year. It can be anything that you really want. So now, I'm going to give you 1 minute to think about your goals, and then we're going to fill out this worksheet together. Okay? Sounds good. Okay. Does everyone have a goal? Just pause the video. If you still need more time, that's totally okay. So I'm going to make my goal to finish all of my homework 2 nights before it's due. for the rest of the school year. Okay, so now let's check if my goal is a SMART goal. So is it specific? Yes, I'm specifically going to finish my homework for all of my classes. So let's add that. Yes, so specific, check. Is it measurable? Yes. So I'll be able to look back and I either finished it early or I didn't finish it early, right? So it is measurable. Is it attainable? So is it realistic for me, or is it too big of a jump right away? Well, I would say right now I finish all my homework the night before, but sometimes I get a little bit stressed out because I'm doing it the night before. But I do always get my homework in on time, and I would say sometimes I do finish it early. So I think this goal is attainable for me, though it will be challenging, but goals should be challenging, so that's okay. So we're going to check that box off. Next, we have relevant. How is this relevant to my life? How will this goal help my life? Well, I think that this goal will definitely help me feel less stressed out about school. And it could even help me get better grades because I'll be putting in the time into these assignments earlier, and I won't feel rushed when I'm doing these assignments, which could result in a better grade. So it's definitely relevant. And is it time bound? Yes. So for the rest of the school year, so for that's for about a month more. So it is time bound. Okay, and I will be completing the state by the end of this goal by the end of the school year, which for me is June 12th. So I'm going to put that in 6, 12, 21, and we're going to check back in then. So purpose, let's fill that out for everyone. Okay. So the purpose of this goal is to stop rushing. You can write bullet points or full sentences, whatever is going to help you later on when you come back to this. So stop rushing when I'm doing my homework. And create less stress, less academic stress. Okay. Challenges. What are the challenges to overcome? So it's going to be hard, right, to achieve a goal like this. What is going to be exactly the challenge? I think for me, sometimes I tend to procrastinate. So we can say, I would say things that I have going on in my life other than academics. So maybe that's like my clubs and organizations that I'm involved in, the time commitments for work. So those could be challenges. Righty, and what key resources and skills are needed? So I'm going to need to be very disciplined, and I'm going to need to manage my time well. So, okay, how am I going to do that? How will I achieve my goal? So first, I'm going to keep a planner. Keep a planner. When am I going to start doing that? I've already started doing that, so started. And have I done that? So you can check that off. So what am I going to do next? I'm going to write down all of my assignments. Two weeks before they're due. Okay, so that's important because that will help me keep track of everything and remember beforehand. Block off time for each class that I'm in. Okay, so that will help me manage my time wisely. And then finally, remember to turn in each assignment. Actually, let's add first, finish each assignment 2 days early, and then go over the assignment night before if needed. Okay, so those are my key steps and I can complete them and I can check it off when it's completed. And then down here is a measure, a log, so you can keep a progress log. So you can check in and see if you achieved this goal on some days and maybe some other days you won't achieve that goal, and that's totally okay. You don't have to achieve all of your goals all the time. We just want to see some progress, right? Okay, so next, let's do a fun goal. Let's do something like a personal growth goal rather than an academic one. So again, I will give you some time to think. Just pause this video if you need more time while I'm deleting all of this. Okay, so my fun goal is to learn a new language. That's something that I've wanted to do for a really long time. So let me put that in the goal section. Learn a new language. So let's see how I can turn this goal, which is pretty vague, into a specific SMART goal. So how can I make this goal more specific? Well, let's see, I can choose one language to learn. So I'm going to learn Hindi. That's much more specific than just learning any new language. And that will help me narrow down what I really want to achieve. Now, is it measurable? How will I measure whether I've learned a language? Learn enough Hindi to have a conversation. So I'm okay if I'm not fluent at the language. That's okay by me, but maybe if this is your goal and you want to be fluent, you can include that. But for me, I just want to know enough to have a conversation. Okay, and now is my goal attainable? I think it is. I haven't learned a language in a while since high school, but I think it'll be okay. So let's check that off. Let's check this off. Is it relevant? Yeah, I think I'll have a lot of fun doing it. And I do want to travel in the future. So I think learning a language would be really good for that. Really good for communicating with other people, communicating with some of my family members. So definitely relevant. And is it time bound? Oh, okay. This goal is not time bound yet. So let me add that. Learn enough to have a conversation in the next, let's say the next 6 months. Let's give myself maybe 3 months. Let's see, I think I can do it. Alrighty, so what's the purpose? Why is this goal relevant to me and what are the benefits? Develop a new skill. Helpful when I'm traveling. And something fun. Fun and different. Also, it will help me communicate with my family, some family members in India. Okay, so we have all that. Challenges. What are the challenges to overcome? I'm going to have to create time for this in my schedule. I'm also going to have to figure out a way to learn this. Okay, so now you already saw me go through key steps, so you might be able to fill in the blanks for this yourself. So what could I do to help me learn Hindi or learn any language better? Well, first I could figure out how am I going to learn? Am I going to enroll in a class? Am I going to enroll in an online class? Am I going to listen to lectures? Or maybe I can download an app that will help me do it. or maybe I can purchase a textbook. So many different options, and I would have to do some research on which option is right for me. And then I can create a study schedule, and maybe then I can practice with some friends and families, maybe make your friends kind of practice whatever your goal or your hobby is with you, and it could be something fun for you to do together. So those are some of the key steps, but you can definitely brainstorm more for your own goal and fill this out. And then of course we have measure again. Okay, so that's this worksheet. I hope that y'all found it useful. Some of my big tips for goal setting besides this worksheet is to just not take it too seriously, have fun with it. It's okay if your goals change, and it's also okay if you don't reach all of your goals. But I think it's fun to look back and see how far you've come and see any progress that you've made. Even if it's slow progress, that's totally fine too. I love creating goals every few months. I think it's not just reserved for, New Year's resolutions or the start of a school year, even though those are great times to set your goals. I think you can also do it now that the summer is starting. Maybe you'll have some summer goals, or just every few months when you want to do a check-in, and kind of imagine what you want from school or what you want from your life in a couple months or a couple years that you can really work to achieve and create time for. So I hope that helped all of you, and definitely let me know if you create any goals, and I'd love to help you out. We can check in with each other about your goals. So just let me know. But it was great talking to you all. Again, I'm Piglet, and I'm so happy to be a part of our life skills video series. Okay, talk to you all later.